So here we go, 5. .96.1 KISS FM live, folks. We are live on the radio. Let's make some. It is 96.1 KISS FM Mountain Dew private showcase of Dani Moz from The Voice in the Newburgh Toyota Performance Studio. So, you want to get started? Are we ready? Okay, everybody. Dani Moz, give it up for Dani Moz. Can I just geek out for a second? You have one of the coolest websites, by the way. It is so cool, because I was looking up some information, and if you go to Dani Moz Music, DANIMOZ music.com, the only one website that's close to that, I guess, is Deirdre the Web Girl. Yes, because give up to Deirdre the Web Girl, everybody. We're streaming live. But there's a connection to Deirdre, there's a connection to Dani, and I'll tell that story super quick, Dani. When you were taking part in The Voice, and all of a sudden Deirdre goes, "That's Danielle, how do you say it? Mozelewski from Marist College." I go, "She's from Marist?" Like, "Yeah, like my sister sang with her."
Marist singers.
It's here, Marist singers, right?
We have some Marist people in the house. I have some old professors here.
Oh, it's awesome.
Oh my God, it's so happy.
So we reached out to you, and all of a sudden we had a direct contact with someone on one of the most watched TV shows, The Voice. How cool is that?
And I'm pretty sure it was just like, I got a Facebook message, and I was like, "Hey girl, what's up?" Like, it was like no big deal. She was like, "Oh, I'm pretty sure I thought I would have to like jump through hoops to get to you." I'm like, "No, what up, chick? Like, I'm right here."
Yeah.
I'm cool.
You got an in,
Yeah.
we all know you made it to top 12 with Team Shakira, right? We love Shakira.
Right.
She's awesome. So. We'll start with a song, and we'll talk some more with you, yeah. So everybody, Dani Moz from The Voice. 96.1 KISS FM.
Thank you guys all for coming, and thank you, KISS FM. This has been so awesome. They've been so supportive throughout the entire journey, so it was the least I could do to come back here and jam with you guys and put on a good show. So I wanted to kick things off. I don't know if you guys watched the show from the get-go, but obviously my blind audition's what landed me on Team Shakira, and I sang a really cool arrangement of Need Your Love by Calvin Harris and Ellie Goulding. So I wanted to play that for you. It's kind of a testament to what got me onto the show. So without further ado, you guys don't care if I like sing a few songs for you, right? That's okay? I need your love, I need your time. When everything's wrong, you make it right. I feel so high, I come alive. I need to be free with you tonight. I need your love. I take a deep breath every time I pass your door. I know you're there, but I can't see you anymore. And that's the reason you're
fun. I got the chair turned around, right? Again, you're listening to 96.1 KISS FM Mountain Dew Private Showcase. Dani Moz, the voice, the Newburgh Toyota Performance Studio. It's Chris Marino. So how'd you get here? What? No, I mean, like, we know your mom's
in a car. My mom drove me. Thanks, Mom.
And we know, how you were created. I think we all know that part. Not to embarrass your mom, but which I'm doing. But anyway, so you're from Delmar, New York, right?
Yes.
Well, where is that? Tell us.
So it's right outside of Albany. So it's just about an hour and a half up the thruway, north of here, the Hudson Valley in Poughkeepsie. So yeah, I was born and raised in Albany. I went to school there, and then I actually went to Marist College. So I got my degree in communications. Whereas Mr. Massey, Tim Massey, hey, I got a degree in PR, and he was like the driving force of it. Yes. And so yeah, but all throughout my schooling and education, music was always such a passion. So I was obviously in Marist Singers. That's how I had the connection with Deirdre. And just in bands and writing music. And so it was always, a hobby but a passion of mine. But I knew school was super important.
Yeah.
So after I graduated, I moved to Boston. I lived in Boston for a few years, and then I wanted to give LA a try, and it kind of coincided. My move to LA was when The Voice actually contacted me, and they were like, hey, so we see you're this musician, and we'd really like it if you came out and auditioned. And so it was kind of right timing, right place. Everything fell into like this perfect harmony, and it was about a year process, and I found myself on that blind audition stage and almost peed my pants when I had to start singing in front of those coaches. But yeah, it just all, the rest is history, and it was
That's
so
cool
much
that
fun.
they sought you out. I guess they saw stuff on YouTube.
Oh,
or
for
they heard
sure,
about it.
yeah. And they have a really great casting agency who's always actively scouting and looking for talent. Because you could be a singer, but not everyone has the courage or the patience and time to go and do those casting calls.
Right.
So yeah, it was so surprising and exciting to be sought after. But I knew it was meant to be.
Cool. Again, we're talking to Dani Moz from The Voice, our special guest. We've been promoting it for the past few weeks. Your homecoming here.
That's right.
I know you're doing some shows up in Albany. We're just you're home from up that way. So we're so glad to have you back in the Hudson Valley.
So much.
Cool. More music?
I think so.
You guys ready for some more? Should we? They don't want to hear me. They hear me from 2 to 6 every day. Yapping away.
But you got that great radio voice personality, so I mean.
Better about Dani Moz. Okay. Take it away. 96.1 KISS FM.
Yeah. So. Oh, also, I wanted to shout out. You had pointed out my website, DaniMozmusic.com.
Very cool website.
We actually have the creator of that website here in the audience, Mr. Ian Fleming, the redhead in the front. If anyone needs any creative services, he's my creative director. He's just so fancy. He gave that website the big glam that you all can see. But yeah, so this next song, I kind of wanted to do a little fun mashup for you guys. It's a song that I begged to do on the show. But you're kind of restricted when it comes to song selection, and your coach has a say, the producers have a say. And so I begged and begged, but this one unfortunately never made it to one of my lists. But it's a fun little throwback song mixed with some new flavor, and so I wanted to kind of give you guys a little taste of it. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You're just going to have to guess. And then sing along, obviously. Yeah.
Can't you taste this gold? Remember my
booty, bang, bang, to look away. I like the way you work it, tongue tight all day, every day. Blowing my mind, baby, inside. Maybe I can get you in my ride. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I'm about to back it up, back it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I'm about to back it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I'm about to back it up, back it up. I like the way you work it. I'm so fancy. You already know I'm in the fast lane. From LA to Tokyo, I'm so fancy. Can't you taste this gold? Remember my name, about to blow. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Ooh, that girl looks good. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. Ooh, no diggity. Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. No diggity.
Yeah,
Maybe they thought that'd be too gangster for me.
I know. Right, somewhere Blackstreet's going, that was awesome.
Well, you shouldn't really do that because your image. I'd be like, no. I'm trying
Wanted
to
to keep it
gangster.
real,
I'm trying to
yeah.
be gangster.
We're listening to Dani Moz and The Voice. It's 96.1 Kiss FM Mountain Dew. Private showcase here in the Newburgh Toyota Performance Studio. We have our live audience. Give yourselves a round of applause, live audience. So now, Dani, what happens, it's a big question everyone asks. You know, you go through a show like that, and there's similar programs, obviously, like Idol and all that. What happens, like, what's the next step for you at this point?
Actually, I'm quitting music and I'm going to
great.
veterinary school
Let's just
so I can
kill
just
this.
take care of animals.
Broadcast is over. It's like,
No, it's exciting because I am doing music full time now. Because if you watch the show, you would know, I'm juggling a career in PR, and I was doing music on the side. But the show has really allowed me to kind of just get catapulted into music full time. I'm here back on the East Coast for shows all summer, and I'm just so pumped to be able to kind of pour all of my energy into that. I'm just working with a lot of incredible producers that I unfortunately can't announce just yet, but I will be having some new music released hopefully by the end of summer. So I'm really excited.
now, what happens? I'm just curious, asking the question with your relationship with Shakira. Does that continue? Is that something that was just for the voice?
I babysit Milan every now and then when she's busy, and she comes to the States. She was a wonderful mentor, and I have, a really good relationship with her. And after the show, even when I went back for the finale, she just really is excited for what's next in my career. So hoping to keep that line of communication open for sure, but also not wanting to rely on her, as a crutch. So. I know my mom would love to see me go on tour with Shakira. And she doesn't really understand why that hasn't happened yet, and I just keep telling her it's not like that.
Well, it's almost interesting, like in any field that, a lot happens in radio, and this term, they say, I interned at that radio station, or I interned with that doctor. Right. It's almost like you've gotten an internship in the music industry, you've made connections. That you otherwise wouldn't have had if you hadn't been on The Voice. So that's that alone is so cool. And at the end of the day, it becomes what you make of it and what you
Exactly.
You sound like you're ready to rock. So
exactly. And there is that stigma attached, and unfortunately, we haven't really seen a huge superstar come from The Voice yet. So. Even though I didn't win, I'm hoping to kind of break out and, break that mold and that expectation, that stigma. But it really is, people think that you have this platform, this exposure, and that's it. But now's the time more than ever to just work hard, and I'm ready for that. So ready.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Well, you got to do it. You got to do the one that got everybody bananas and got you into the top 12. I love that song. It's so cool. It's like, your signature. So tell us, what made you choose that?
Yeah,
and then I'll let you.
The last song I want to play for you guys is Edge of Glory by Lady Gaga. And this was kind of my breakout moment on the show, which was interesting because it came at such a late time in the season. But it was really the first time the entire show I was able to fully do a song that was me. You know, so with the show, you have your coaches picking songs for you, the producers picking songs, and I fought for this song, and I fought for this arrangement. It's funny, you know, we get a song assigned to us one night, and the next day, we're in that rehearsal studio that you see on TV rehearsing, as if we had known the song for weeks and weeks. So, you know, I remember when I got this Edge of Glory song, I sat in the piano room. My mom was actually there with me. And I was playing it on piano over and over because I didn't want to do it like the record. I wanted to do something different. And no one on the show had played the piano at that point. And I was like, listen, this is my time. You know, if anything, if this is what's going to get me into live shows, I need to show, like, pull out all the stops and show who I truly am. So I remember walking into that rehearsal, staring at Shakira, staring at Paul Markovich, the band director, and all the producers. And they started playing their record arrangement, you know, ready to go, not wasting any time. And I remember literally stopping all of production and being that girl that everyone just glared at and was like, who does she think she is? Like, yeah, she's the contestant, but... And I begged, and I begged, and I said, hear me out, like, drag out a piano, let me play this stripped version. And there was such a fuss put up, but after, like, so much time was spent begging, I played it for them, and they were blown away. And they ultimately were like, all right, girl, like, this is on you, like, you can do this, like, we're putting our faith in you. And it ended up being, like, the best-selling single for me on iTunes, and it was just, like, unreal. Yeah, so... And I know some of y'all in the audience purchased it, I know, so thank you, seriously. It really was so cool to be able to show, like, my true artistry on that show. And so, yeah, this, you know, it's a really special arrangement and song for me, so I would love to play it for you guys. Yeah. If you want to listen to it.
Yeah.
So feel free to sing along if you know the words. Be alone tonight, yeah, baby, tonight, yeah, baby. Now I got a reason that you should take me home tonight. I need a man who thinks it's right when it's so wrong tonight, yeah, baby, tonight, yeah, baby. Right on the limits where we know we both belong tonight. It's hard to feel the rush, to rush the dangerous. I'm gonna run right to the edge with you, where we can both fall far in love. I'm on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on a moment of truth. I'm on the edge of glory, and I'm hanging on a moment with you. I'm on the edge with you.
Her little girl. That's amazing. 96.1 KISS FM. It's the Mountain Dew Private Showcase. You're listening to Dani Moz, The Voice, the Newburgh Toyota Performance Studio. Now, what happens, you know, you do a song like that. It was a huge hit for Lady Gaga. Did you hear from her camp, or anybody?
Why couldn't she have tweeted me?
How dare she?
No, but that's actually, it was like a running joke among the contestants. You know, every week you pick a song, and some are like throwbacks of artists and bands, but some current artists. And so everyone always kind of gets together and is like, oh, I wonder if so-and-so will tweet me. Oh, I wonder if so-and-so. And you always had those few, but then there were some that didn't, like Lady Gaga. I'm pretty sure I still tweet her every day, being like, have you heard my version of It's Glory? But what's really cool is that, you know, artists like Gaga and you know, I know there was a few like Christina Perri and Paramore, like they watch the show, you know?
Sure.
They're totally amped when their songs get performed. You know, it's great exposure for them too on this, you know, millions of people watch this television show. So it was always a running joke, like which artist is going to tweet the contestant, you know, but it's so cool, man.
I know you cite Michael Jackson, Mariah Carey as some of your influences.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, is there any particular artist that you'd like to work with, and maybe you have and you can't reveal yet who's
that I would like to work with?
Yeah, like, you know, any one particular.
Oh man, you know, someone asked me that in an interview, and it's like so silly. I, you know, write pop songs and, you know, but I really would love to work with an artist like Macklemore or someone, you know, and collaborate on a hook or something like that, because I love that genre of music, and it's like blowing up right now, and the fact that, you know, those independent artists are out there and making names for themselves, and, you know, that's someone I would love to work with for sure.
That's so cool. Again, we're talking to Dani Moz. DaniMozmusic.com is the website.
Right.
You have this weekend up in Albany, the Summer Jam. You're playing up there, right?
I'm so stoked. Yeah, I'm from the Albany area, and Saratoga is only 45 minutes away, and I grew up going to SPAC. It's like the big outdoor amphitheater there, and I remember since I was a little girl going and watching all of these bands and my idols who I just like dreamt of being on that stage one day.
Sure.
And the fact that I got invited to go play there, and I'm going to be taking the stage on Saturday. I'm pretty sure I'll cry like the entire time during my set. Everyone's going to be like, why is this weird girl crying on stage? I'm going to be like, True Glory. Like, it's going to be really embarrassing. But it'll be a dream come true.
And you'll get that tweet, yo, it's Macklemore, you cry too much.
Yo girl,
Yo, girl.
He's up on that crying. No, it's funny because I have these conversations and I was like, oh yeah, like, but you were on national television, that's like millions of people. I'm like, yeah, like, it is, but it didn't feel the same as it, you know, I grew up going to these venues, and the fact that that's like a full circle life moment for me is going to be so cool.
And you know, when you're on a big stage, like, you know, it's TV cameras, there's a studio audience, even though you know millions of people are watching, it's almost like being on the radio. It's different when you have a small group and
totally.
You know, and it's, oh, you know, it's crazy. So
I'm so excited.
Dani, thank you so much for coming
Thank
down.
you
We
so
appreciate it.
much.
One more time, Dani Moz, everybody. The website is DaniMozmusic.com.
That's right.
And then, what's the time frame? Like, when can we expect to hear more about, you know, the next step for you?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm always, you know, putting updates on my website and on Twitter at Dani Moz Music. I'm looking forward. I'll be here finishing my tour in the Northeast. I go back to LA the 16th. Okay. I'm getting right into the studio. So, you know, hoping that, you know, everything comes to fruition in the next few months, even sooner, you know, so.
I wouldn't get mad at you if you sent me a copy of the first single. If you wanted to break
Would
it
you
here.
play it on the radio?
If you allow us to break it first. I'm making the deal now on camera. Everyone's listening. Do we have a deal?
I think we have a deal. Let's shake on it.
Okay, let's shake on it. We get to play Dani first.
We're currently shaking hands.
Yeah, we're shaking hands. Well, it's funny because you honored the deal. We made a deal with her when we first talked to you on The Voice, saying once you're done with the show, regardless of how far you get, you're coming back here and performing. And it was so cool. Everyone reacted to that. Oh, that's awesome. So, yeah, as soon as you get that single mastered and it's ready to be released to radio, we play it first here, all right?
Awesome.
All right, love that.
Sounds
all right, we're going to go back to regular programming after we take a quick commercial break. Nick, take us into spots, if you will. And back here, we're going to be doing photos with Dani. So everybody want to take their photo with Dani? A little keepsake, we'll do that for you. And of course, we have many more great shows here in the Newburgh Performance Studio, Newburgh Toyota Performance Studio. I want to thank Davis Furniture for the green room we have back there. Mountain Dew, of course, for helping us out. Valentine Communications for the equipment, and Durant's Tents. And Newburgh Toyota, where you can preview everyday low prices and inventory at NewburghToyota.com. Visit the all-new Newburgh Toyota on Route 17K across from Stewart Airport, exit 6 off I-84. Did I do good with that?
You did so good!
I mean, not as good as you sing.
do this for a living.
Not as good as you sing, though. All right, guys, when we come back, my show starts at 2. Hang out, 96.1 KISS FM.